Hello.
Yo,
Welcome.
how's it going? Sunday fun days with Undead Unluck.
Yeah, this one's good.
We'll see.
I just got done reading One Piece a little earlier today. Got 3 quick chapters in. It was great. Not excited for the break though, unfortunately. But Oda, be well.
Oh, look at that. They officially had dropped the Sakamoto Days volume cover. Just talking about it.
Yeah.
It was GG. But we are here. Let's see something.
Alright guys, so I am going to put into the chat another link to our Discord. You guys can get up-to-date updates on any changes in our schedule, any upcoming content. If you just want to talk to us about series, you can get a role in there if you like. There's only one person without a role. I did message them to try to say hello because I don't know who they are, but hopefully they respond soon. Just trying to build up the community a little bit more, and I've been a lot more active on Twitter for the Undead Unluck community, which has been great.
What if they just want to be rollless?
You can be a rollless.
I don't have a name. When I was born, my parents didn't give me a name.
Hello, Lauren.
Yup. Undead though. What happened last chapter?
Last chapter, it hit a lot of people. I foresaw it coming. No, that's not a Bleach reference. It could be, but it's not. But Apocalypse seemingly gave up his own life in order to transport or to translate the memories from Juiz and Victor into Julia. And he did so at the expense of his own life because he, and I quote, had great players. End quote. Soul, doing his damn thing, dirty bastard. Can't stand him.
I'm glad. Zuka, keep doing something, man. Keep doing something with these this antagonistic group of the Master Rules. Shout out to Apaki, man. He kept it a buck. Like I'm all for the game. It's for the love of the game. Even if
It's
Don is cheating.
the rule of our rules.
Like I said, it's just like the referees in sports when they're like really, really on their game. They're like, I don't care who you are, I don't care what kind of superstar player you are. That's a foul. That's that's a penalty. Yeah.
Yep. And I appreciate that. He was genuine through and through for the whole time. But he also did have sort of a tsundere-esque relationship with Juiz. And that makes sense because she was really close to him. She didn't really view him as an artifact, more so like a companion, I would say, throughout the years. And he got to see her love for Victor kind of shine through. And I just remember the first time we saw that Apocalypse page when Fuko's like, you don't want her to join the battle, do you? And it's just like him, like shocked look on his face with a white background. Beautiful. I love that page. It's iconic to me.
Julia. Shout out to Julia. I like that she gets to maintain herself. She gets to stay herself. While I guess simultaneously learning of what happened in the past. As you guys see from the title, Loop 1, question mark.
Question mark? I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, so a little bit of bait. I don't quite know what's going on with this chapter. I did get spoiled on one character being in it, but Other than that, I have no idea the context. I have no idea what happens to them, so on and so forth.
Okay. Oh, the character was the the first whatever org guy from episode 1. Him. Okay. Him. Katana Man.
No, I'm just kidding. Katana Man. And then we do have a pretty fun tier list today for you guys. So it is going to be the manifestation of the Negator powers. So just how cool, how awesome, how badass they were, how heartbreaking they were, just essentially ranking those moments as we get the words of the Negator ability on the screen. Yeah, that's all I have. So you're going first this time, right?
Yep.
All right. Bye-bye.
You guys know the drill. Every week we do this. We do our own reaction to the chapters so that we don't read simultaneously. Yeah, we just thought that would be a little awkward. So for anybody that's new here, one of us, we usually alternate every week. One of us reads the chapter on our own and then talk to the chat a little bit, and then we tell the other person to come on in so they can read it as well. So yeah, so we both get our own blind reactions to the chapters on our own. So that being said, let's get into this chapter, man. Chapter 227 of Undead Unluck. I'm ready, man. I've been hyped. I've been waiting for this literally these last few chapters, man. Every week I've just been waiting, just staring at the shoulder jump back. No, I haven't, but I've been waiting. Anyway, the chapter is called "I'm for Either Or." Okay, so we're seeing Victor, Juiz, more Juiz, Apaki, Victor, Juiz, more of them. Okay, and you see, obviously Julia's right. She's still on the table in front of the first seat. Thank you, Apocalypse. I have them now. The memories you and the old me shared. Also, the way to manifest injustice. Leave the rest to me. You take a nice long rest. Mr. Top, I have a favor. Take me. Whoa, what the fuck just struck down? Did somebody land there or did they shoot something down? Top, stop. What? Damn. Nico, what happened? Top, hurry and take Julia. I swear, I'm sick of this. Taking on opponents you stand no chance against. So time, oh shit, yeah. Shin Mui, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what you're the very whole fame pose. Hey, you're cute, even as an old. Oh, I didn't even peep that. Oh, I think we predicted something, or I think I remember I mentioned something like this about Mui like aging. Had a whole theory that when we were doing our last stream, the other tier list about characters who might die, and we both had characters that we think would be a shocker, not necessarily that will happen, but it will be a shock. I had Shin being there, and I had Mui growing old, but growing old right here because of Umatan. Fighting despite being at a huge disadvantage. Okay, we got Billy. Is that Billy and Tella against War? And obviously Gina, and no, that's Yusai and Justice. Still, as I observe each of you, because of Undraw, this sword is now mine. Oh shit! And they fighting. Damn, she got her in the shoulder. I find those hopeful looks on your faces never change. But, and obviously sick, Rip Lala, if you go away, they will change, and that's Soul. So Soul is here, going against Julia, Nico, Ishin, Top, and Phil. Okay. That's a pretty fire panel too. He still got them eyes on the tense ass eyes. You will die here, Justice. After all, you're already dead. Here we go with that typical anime iconic line. You're already dead. What you know? Sorry, what are you so nervous for? Juiz died without looping a change, didn't she? All you would have to do is leave her. Or maybe, I don't know if that's just her being, obviously she is nervous, but like the whole biting of the thumb or like sucking of the thumb kind of reminds me of like a, there's people that still do that, like suck on their thumb and stuff, like even as a child or getting older to like preteen, teenager sometimes. You did that when you were a kid or a toddler, when you were a baby. And I wanted to ask something to do with that, like changing, like maturing or not changing. And that's just like an ironic thing with her character, even though she is the opposite, which is change. But anyway, I don't know. I just talk about that. Or maybe you don't believe in my rule. Is that it? So, this pisses me off. Don't you feel the same? Hmm. That's interesting. Gina Chamber, god damn, an uppercut of fucking change. Damn, everybody, or yeah, her back is up against the ropes too. I think they both are looking crazy as hell. Why are you laughing? Or what are you laughing at? Have you lost your mind? I mean, I find it funny. Was that you're the rule of change, but the prospect of not changing terrifies you. Interesting. Interesting. What's up, Vince? I see you. I'm what? Bullseye, right? They exist, don't they? Rules that not even you can change. Of course they don't exist. If that exists, brings it here. Bring it here. I was always thinking about how their fight is going to go. And it's just so strange because they both like kind of their ideologies, or at least their dialogue, kind of circle back to each other. Like both kind of talk. I don't want to say preach the same things, but in a roundabout way. Bring me whatever it is that not even I can change. God damn, what the damn? Her arm. That's. I had to. I didn't think we was gonna get a panel like that soon. What the fuck? God damn! Slice her arm off with some kind of scythe blade that she made from her own arm. That's one arm down. You're an external targeter. You can't put unchanged on your own body. People change. People change. Your mind is bound by that rule, i.e., me. Oh shit! And Gina. Oh shit! She came back at her, and you see the DNA body contortion. She sacrificed her left arm to prepare her next move. Oh my! I finally took a hit. Nice damage. Quite a change. You would have taken down any other Uma with that. But I am the rule of change. Even that attack of yours, is she getting back together, huh? Oh, phase 3. What the fuck am I looking at? Okay, there's a bunch of like hair. Okay, it makes sense. DNA, hair, boom. For a second, I couldn't see her body. I was like, what the fuck can be changed into power? Now, shall we bring in some change, Gina Chamber? Talk about a quirk of fate. The old me feared those words and fought against them. I fell in love with someone who never changed, lived my life trying not to change either. It hit me in my final moments. Right now I get how I felt back. Enough. Enough of your enlightened prattle. It disgusts me. I bet it does. This feeling is universally known and constantly shown. So hey, tell me, things that change or things that stay the same, which do you like more? Call back to Gina, that whole arc way early in the manga. Was that? I like either or, and then she got the beret on, unchanged. Ooh, is that like unchanged fist? Making a fist with your soul is useless. You know what you are. You're just an external targeter. You keep saying that, and yeah, you got your ass caught. You try to catch it, boom, got your ass. Stupid. You don't get to decide what my rule is. No matter how much their form changes, a person's feelings, their resolve, their soul will never change. Fire panel, right into her fucking face, got her. Oh yeah, this fight is going. I mean, all these fights I feel like to some degree are going to be very visceral, but like this one of the ones like both ends. You already had Gina losing her arm. You had her pretty much bludgeoning Change's face. Even if that person were to die right here and now. And Change is pissed off. She's always very intense. I like that. So we finally got into the fights, specifically into focusing on one more than the others. So we got the fight with Soul back at the HQ. We seen a little bit of Shin and Mui going against time. We see Mui was getting old. I think Shin also. I know Mui for sure, but yeah. So and then we seen Sick, Rip Latla, and Justice Usai. I like how we're seeing all the fights, a little glimpse of each of them though, and then we went into this one. I did not see that coming. This is cool. This is cool. Let me look at the chat real quick. Let me see. Anime Owl Plus, what's up? Hello, recently discovered the channel from the Bleach reaction. Hey, shout out to you, man. Appreciate it. And if you are, or you haven't read Undead Unluck, read it. This is a really good series, really good new gen series. So if you haven't read it, I definitely advise you to do so, or watch the anime first if you want to. Yeah, Lauren, I think she was biting her nail too. I don't know. For some reason I was just thinking about like that. Like, you're right. But yeah, she definitely was biting her nail. I honestly don't know how to feel about the chapter. On one hand, the way Tezuka skipped gloss over Julia and Juiz flashback stuff, really bare bones that stuff right now. I kind of feel you because I thought this chapter was going to be that, but I think we're gonna see it. We're gonna see more from it in the fight against Soul. I guess maybe she's gonna have some kind of, I don't know, some kind of man. I get what you're saying, especially with that first page of what we've seen, how she, seen everything and whatnot. So I do agree with you. Because I really did want to get the Loop 1 stuff. I feel like we might have room for it. We'll see. But I do agree to a certain extent. Anything Soul is going to derail it further away. Yeah, I kind of feel you. I agree. Yeah, Suzuka, he definitely is moving a lot quicker now. The pacing is a lot faster. But I do believe that kind of like what Click said, I think we will circle back to it. I'm not sure if it'll be at the end of the arc or we'll circle back to when we're fighting against Soul. But yeah, Suzuka, he that's one thing that when it comes to his writing, I think he does everything really well for the most part for like the cast of characters, the characterization. The flow of the arcs are usually really good too. But sometimes he does speed up things at times where like, I don't know, man. I don't mind. Like, I don't mind slow burns. I don't mind like for a writer like Tezuka, I don't mind that kind of stuff. But he ends up speeding stuff up anyway. So I'm like, some mangaka I don't really rock with the slow burns or just, things coming in very slowly, not at a quicker pace. But with him, take your time, man. You're a great writer. We're not gonna trip off about you going too quick, I think Tezuka's impatient. I mean, is it more that he's impatient? But like, why? Is he impatient because he wants to get to something that he really wants to get to? I thought that this arc itself was what he really wanted to get to. That's why the prep for it, that's why it started so quick because he wanted to get to this. That's at least how I saw it. I don't know. Skips the payoff. I mean, the thing is, I don't think he's a big offender of it. Like, yes, there are a few characters, like Kururu, Bunny. That one's egregious. That one is very egregious. I would say that is very egregious. But I feel like for the most part, like, and I know comparing other series isn't like I don't try to put down series or put up series, but sometimes you just kind of got to do that, when you're talking and analyzing these series. I feel like for this series, Tezuka, he does a good job of, I would say 95% of his cast. You can only think of maybe 5 characters in the series where he's like completely like dropped the ball, And then there's some that can get more, that haven't got some in a while or focus in a while. But ultimately, I think there are more pros and cons right now in this arc, but I do agree with you, Vince, in terms of the pacing and skipping over the Juiz stuff. Maybe we'll get it by the end of the arc, like Click said, but I would have wanted it to be in this chapter. That's why we even titled this video "Loop 1?" or the stream. But it just depends. But yeah, I'm gonna get Twitchy in here. I know you've been waiting. Oh, it's a lot of conversation going. Yep. So I'm gonna get Twitchy in here real quick. And then he'll react to the chapter 2. and see what he thinks about it. Okay. Yeah, I believe in it too, also. I think that they will have pretty good conclusions. 'Cause I think, and we talked about this before, I think the epilogue of the series will be very good. Like, I think you can do a lot in the epilogue portions of the series, especially with specific characters. Like, obviously, Andy, like, that one's going to be fire, because we think he's going to probably end up growing old and dying if the powers aren't there no more. So hopefully, we get something like that, which I think we will for him. As for other characters, there's still some things we talked about too last time. But pretty cool though. And Twitchy should be on his way now. Yo, bye-bye.
All right, see some people in the chat haven't seen in a while. Welcome back, Osis. Welcome, Vince. I'm not looking at your messages. Do not worry. If you guys can just go ahead and like the stream for us if you haven't already. That just gets us out to more Undead Unluck viewers. I was about to say One Piece because I watched it earlier today. But without any further delay, let's get into chapter 227. I hear a peak chapter of Undead Unluck. Chapter 227, I'm for either or. Okay, all the memories. Oh, why do we randomly have to get a Nico death shot seen from that perspective? That's wild. Thank you, Apocalypse. I have them now. The memories you and the old me shared. Also, the way to manifest injustice. Leave the rest to me. You take a nice, long rest. Mr. Top, I have a favor. Quee! Take me... Uh-oh. Boom! Nani? Damn. Nico, what happened? Top, hurry and take Julia. I swear, I'm sick of this. Who do we think that is? Oh no! They're aging! Look at the hair! Oh no! Taking on opponents you stand no chance against. She is growing older. Grin. Hey, you're cute, even as an old lady. What's exploding in the background? Is that a nuke? Fighting despite being at a huge disadvantage. All right, so you got Billy and Tella in a little unchanged little rollerball. Yusai, oh, he cut through her katana into her. Still, as I observe each of you, because of Undraw, this sword is now mine? So he can't draw it out of Yusai's body? Okay, so Rip Latla going up against Sick, like in his face. I find those hopeful looks on your faces. Let me read that again, sorry. My brain had a stroke. I find those hopeful looks on your faces never change? I hope? No, there's something wrong with that dialogue box. Soul. If you go away, they will change. Phil, Top with his unbreakable armor, Nico, Julia. I think Creed and Yusai in the background. Not Yusai, Haru, sorry. You will die here, Injustice. After all, you're already dead. Omaiwa mo shinderu. Angry dial-up noises. Soul, what are you so nervous for? Juiz died without looping and changed, didn't she? All you'd have to do is leave her. Or maybe you don't believe in my rule. Is that it, Soul? Ugh, this pisses me off. Don't you feel the same? Meanwhile, in the background, she is just going absolutely ham on Gina. Gina, Chamber. I did hear that Gina, like, popped off. That was my one spoiler for this chapter. Thankfully, I didn't see any panels. Question mark? What are you laughing at? Have you lost your mind? I mean, I find it funny. Was that? You're the rule of change. But the prospect of not changing terrifies you. Shing! I'm what? Bullseye, right? They exist, don't they? Rules that not even you can change? Oh, that unlocks something sadistic in her. Of course they don't exist. If that exists, bring it here. Bring me whatever it is that not even I can change.
She popped off. Huh?
Cut off. It popped off. Popped off. That's one arm down. You're an external targeter. You can't put unchange on your own body. That's the current interpretation. You don't know. Oh, she got the boomerang. The boomerang thing. So she gave up an arm to possibly kill her? People change. Your mind is bound by that rule, i.e. me. Split the DNA, baby. She sacrificed her left arm to prepare her next move. Oh my, I finally took a hit. Nice damage. Quite a change. I don't know what in the Junji Ito I'm looking at, but the DNA strands are connecting. You would have taken down any other Uma with that. But I am the rule of change. Even that attack of yours can be changed into power. She's got octopus powers. Change, phase 3. Now, shall we bring in some change? Gina, Chamber, smiles. Talk about a quirk of fate. The old me feared those words and fought against them. I fell in love with someone who never changed and lived my life trying not to change either. It hit me in my final moments. Right now, I get how I felt back then. Enough. Enough of your enlightened prattle. It disgusts me. You want to talk about disgusting? Look at your face, wicked witch of the... I was about to say something. I bet it does. This feeling is universally known as and constantly known and constantly shown. So, hey, tell me, things that change or things that stay the same, which do you like more? Was that? All right, she's charging forward, beret on her head. I like either or. Ugh. Making a fist with your soul? Mudada. You know what you are? You're just an external targeter. Oh, God, it's disintegrating her hand. Double spread, let's end this, baby. You don't get to decide what my rule is. No matter how much their form changes, a person's feelings, their resolve, their soul will never change. So she, much like Andy in the previous loop, is able to create and manifest both a physical and a soul form of her body, will never change, even if that person were to die right here and now. Oh, cracked her in the face! Phenomenal chapter. I love Gina. God, she's so cool.
Zuka, where it at? Where's the Juiz Victor? First page. Oh, I got all the information. Hopefully
there has got to be a limit to Time's power. He can't just like consistently fast forward or bruh.
How do you beat time? By being outside of time. Fame, help us.
Help me. Yusai.
How do you feel about that? That we just kind of, that Julia just kind of got all the information and then we're just boom.
I am not upset with it because I have a feeling that when she says the way to manifest injustice, we might not get like a full-on arc for the flashback to Loop 1, but we will definitely get a more in-depth kind of look in at what their perspectives were at that time.
I think I'm
not upset with it.
Especially against Soul. It's going to be some Soul shenanigans, some manifestation shenanigans, and that's, I mean, honestly, if you look at it, you can say that Soul is like the player one of the Umas, while Juiz was a player one of the Negator. So maybe we'll get a conversation between them, in a Soul-like way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a Luna sitting there drinking her tea.
We were so close to getting some words out of Justice. We were 3 ellipses away.
Right. That was crazy though. The sword right into Yusai. Yeah, you can't take it out. I feel like
that's a final gambit that like she knew she could do.
Yeah.
What do you guys
These fights, man.
Shit?
These fights are gonna be crazy. I mean, you already see the change and unchanged.
Yeah. Welcome, Manabu Izayoi.
Welcome. Earlier we got somebody that came from our Bleach video. He was nice. Coming in saying that he was new. It's one of the earlier comments after Lawrence.
Anime Owl Plus, welcome.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a guess, I think Manabu might be the new Discord member. Could be wrong. Do not hate me if that is not you. We still appreciate you.
That's not me.
Oh, we did call Mui growing older though.
Yeah. Yep.
That sucks.
All these fights, man. Damn. I like how the flow is pretty good between the fights. So we're seeing a little bit of each of them. We're seeing, like, how we pointed out how Rick looked like his back was up against the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're still getting a, even with, like, off-screen stuff or just a few panels at a time, we're still getting, like, the scoop of the fight. So we're watching highlights, and then we'll eventually watch the full game, the rest of the match. So that's pretty fire. I kind of like how Suzuka's doing it. Most mangaka, they stick with one, and then they might put some more in-between stuff, and then they'll go to another one full lead, and then go to another one full lead. But I like that we're still keeping up with what's going on. So when we do switch to, like, say, Yusai and Justice, we'll know where we're at and what we're picking up on. Instead of, like, oh, somebody's backup is up against the wall, it's a crater in the wall, and they're bleeding. Like, what happened, And then the villains is talking shit.
I think what Tozuka is likely planning with this scenario is that he will have all of the Negators' backs up against the walls, and that's when Julia's Injustice power is going to manifest.
Yeah.
I love the curvature and, like, dynamics of pages 10 and 11. How it shows Gina losing her arm and then Change being split in half.
And that beret.
I love that.
Oh yeah, Manabu, he is the one that came to the Discord, or she's the one that. Okay. It's funny how you said about the Julia situation, and Clicks just said the opposite. Well, basically, he thinks that now that Julia's helping against Soul, that she won't be able to help everybody else, so that we got to see all the other characters pop off on their own, which I 100%
I can see that too.
All for the most part until it gets to the end where we really need her. But I do want at least half of the fights to be us just struggling, man. Just just got to be in the mud, man.
And her smiling while she does that soul punch, it's so uplifting. Like, it was shocking. I'm so glad I did not get spoiled on her losing the arm. But it just makes that turnaround even better. There's something about shonen series to where, like, you get knocked down, you get back up, even stronger. Oh, and like the way in the middle panel of page 15, how she's like winding up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's a great shot.
I knew this part was going to get ugly. Both of those abilities, like, once again, changed and unchanged. I don't ever see, like, it's hard to differentiate them because of their ideologies and their powers is kind of in a roundabout way the same. Just like how she pointed out, like, you're changed. However, you
fear change.
Yeah, you fear change. Like, you don't. So, and then Gina, she had her whole thing too a while back. It's really cool. Yeah, bro is really dropping nukes on Billy and Telly. God damn.
That is just rude. Oh my god. Welcome Rafts, welcome Clicks, Vince.
Damn, I wonder what the next volume cover is gonna be looking like.
Furion.
Especially like this section.
I feel like you gotta give some love to Apocalypse. Like maybe Julia holding Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let me go ahead and get this tier list pulled up because I'm terrible at prior planning. Vontae, if there's anything else you want to add before we get into it, feel free to use up this dead air time where you can just interact with chat. I will be right back.
Only thing I'm gonna say is that yeah, Vince, I think it is technically like pocket dimensions after the whole orb thing. I have to go back and see what happened. I remember when they kind of pulled up on them. I had to go back, but practically it seems like that's what's going on. But they definitely do seem like they're way further apart from each other right now. Everybody, because you have what was it, Yusai and Justice? They're like in a room, like a palace or something like that, or like a castle, and a war battlefield. Yeah, Monabu. Yep, I think it's exactly the whole thing with Gina, which is dope. That's kind of like a character conclusion, character arc concluded in the midst of having a big fight. During her big fight, and the fight's not over yet. It's pretty cool. You don't see that often. With that resolve, literally, they said it in the last few pages when she did the whole soul fist. So that's dope. But as of right now, the ones who really backs up against the rope is definitely Shin and Moe. Out of everybody. Everybody else got some other leeway, but them, nope. Yeah, Vince. I think with the Death one, I think Death is just going to create a graveyard themselves, like after the fact versus before. Oh yeah, you're right. Click Sick is at a graveyard.
They did not show Fuko, Andy, Luck, or Death in this entire chapter, did they?
Nope. That's interesting. Sean, where you at, man? You know what you got to do when change counters and get upper hand again. Oh, literally, he's literally going to get cut in half, man. We said it before. Like, I'm just thinking about the beret, and I'm just thinking about change his abilities too. Yeah, yeah. So he's gonna die the same way he did in 100.
Oh goodness. Man, we still got Rune up in like the stratosphere. He's just chilling.
Right.
Watching this whole thing for 4 months. God, what a terrible existence he's been going through. Okay, so our tier list for today, guys, it might be the last one for a little while, unless you have any other topics that you can suggest. I'm just about at the end of my creative list here, but today is going to be a ranking of the Negator abilities manifesting. So each time that we see the Negator names across the screen, so like Unjustice, Unluck, Undead, so on and so forth, we're going to rank that. Now, this primarily will be in terms of enjoyment. So, not necessarily like which one's better than the other one, which one has a cooler aspect to it, because there are some of them that are more sad than anything. But, let's just get into it.
Okay.
So, first of all, I don't quite remember, because I think Andy's had multiple like undead, like, you know, like manifestations of his power.
Right.
I think the one that I can think of is the meteor dropping down on him at the end of episode 1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This might be the first time where I won't have him in this.
I actually think it was a little bit underwhelming. Yes, he survived a meteor. Yes, he looked kind of wonky once he got back up, but not my favorite. If anything, I might even actually put it like a C tier to start.
Andy's kind of just his birth. Yeah. Yeah.
Or you could
Kinda.
into where he is getting shot upwards with magma right before Ragnarok. Like when he, you know, actually becomes Andy, the undead. We can look at either one, but I would say that we should probably pick one of them.
I don't know. I mean, technically, it might have to be when he was like the birth of him in a way. Just because technically, other characters, it would be like the origins too for them, you know. So, well,
okay.
more
So
or
you want to
less.
do the one right before Ragnarok?
Yeah.
Okay, where would you have that particular manifestation then?
I honestly don't know. I really don't.
It's
I don't
not like
know.
memorable to me. It's just kind of average. So
I
in
guess
that
B.
regard, I'll put him in a low B, but we'll move that if necessary. Okay, so Billy
Oh boy.
has a couple of different ones, but let's go with the first one to where he betrays the Union in Loop 100.
Billy, he's, if anything, in my opinion, for this tier list, he's like the first person I thought about.
Mm-hmm.
So he's easily S.
I agree.
He's just like, he's the one character. Like, if you ask me this question about manifestations, he's like well, not anymore, but for a while, he was the first one I thought about.
Okay, so next up, Nico Vorgil. This has got to be one of my favorites.
And this is the one that took Billy's throne.
Yes.
That's literally.
This reconceptualized how I felt about the character when his power manifested. You cannot do it any
Yes.
better. It explains so much of his betrayal. Not to say that like Billy's didn't, because you needed to hide that for a while per his power. But
What the
Right.
heck happened?
you're back.
I was like, no, I'm backstage. But yes, Nico.
One of the best.
I think it is the best.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about the next guy, because this is one of the ones up there for me. Ruin, with his unruin manifestation. I remember vividly just the top portion of his head just creeping out of that dark little pool. You have Unruin in the background, and he looks like a different, almost a different series type of character.
Oh, for sure.
Manifested.
That was definitely an iconic one, especially for an antagonist. Because we never got that. We never, aside from Billy, we never had an antagonistic or a villain with that kind of, with the manifestation like that. It's always, Umas that we're dealing with and all that kind of stuff. I still,
I think I might have it over Billy.
do I have it over Billy? Honestly, yeah, because that's when the series started to make me feel different things. Like coming out of the spring, obviously the spring arc in itself was different, but like this is, I was like, okay, this is very different. What the hell is this guy? Who is he? And then his intro, just his intro in general, like just of him killing Fugo, basically, is like, what the hell?
And what's kind of cool from a meta perspective is that Unruin, his power manifesting, coincided with the volume covers or the volume spines being black.
Oh yeah, he got to be it. He got to be there.
So it's got to be one of the top ones.
Damn, Billy's such iconic though. It's like I just watching it in the anime. I'm like, god damn, that was just.
Well, I just remember thinking like, oh, this is this series Aizen, and
yeah,
not to like spoil too much. I might like him more than I like Aizen. I know that might be a hot take for you, but I feel like pretty comfortable.
I fuck with Billy heavy, but Aizen, he's just that's my first villain goat, like true goat.
Okay, so next up we have Phil Hawkins. We only have one choice. It's going to be Loop 101 in space as he's getting eaten by this space tardigrade.
I remember I liked it. I really liked it. Because we finally got Phil. So that's kind of like the story of Phil's character.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do get, it kind of like amplifies it a bit.
And I also like how it personified almost like his innocence being eaten by that creature, because he is forever changed after that moment. He can no longer express himself unless he has soul abilities, which let's hope for that later on. But yeah, Phil, I'd give him either an A- or a B+, so above Andy for sure.
I put him above Andy.
Okay.
Yeah, I put him B+.
B+? Okay. It's between an A- and a B+. I'm
gonna be fair and put a B+, because like I just said, I don't want him getting shot like that to amplify it, because I feel like because we didn't get enough Phil, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, so this is another one I'm a little bit foggy on, so you might have to walk me through this one. But Top Bull Sparks and Unstoppable.
Okay. Let's see. Which one should we go with then for top? Are we going like with character, like their traumas when they first got it too?
I'm pretty sure that's when the name Unstoppable was first shown, so that would be my choice. So back in Brazil when he was running the race, and then obviously things happened with his close friends.
His is interesting because I feel like that's one where, in like a real life perspective, like we can imagine ourselves in a situation like that. Like imagine you're, I don't know, say you're playing a sport and you're just running and it manifests and then boom, you just fuck up a whole bunch of players on the field or a court or something. Like something about that traumatically, like I could imagine that very thoroughly, but for what it is, it's not as crazy as some of the other ones. So I probably have to put it like maybe like a low B.
Vince does mention that he thinks it was first shown against Creed. So is that when he's coming down and Chikara stops him midair? Is that
If that's the
when we
case,
saw it?
that has some sauce to it, man.
It does.
I put that over Phil.
Narratively, I might like the Phil manifestation more, but top, it was just cooler. So since you have him above Phil, I will go ahead and put him there. Okay, next up, Tatiana and Untouchable. Now this one I do remember. This is on the cruise ship, and she goes nuclear. This is where she blows off Creed's arm. And yeah.
I remember watching that. That was really fire. That was a good for that arc, because that arc was just, whatever. But I think that was like a highlight of that arc. One of the top highlights of it.
I agree. And also it had the corresponding flashback to where she was about to lose control, but Fuko talked her down. So I really like how her power manifesting is her showing that Fuko is her friend. Like, she will get upset on her friend's behalf. So shout out to Koda from My Hero Academia.
What you thinking?
I'm thinking probably in the B tier.
Same. I don't know where.
I think I would have it over top. Personally.
Okay. There's more meaning to it too, and it was just as spectacular.
Mm-hmm. And guys, we are not ignoring chat. If you have any opinions on this, just feel free to let them fly. I will, since I'm sharing my screen, I'm not going to be as noticing of the chat as maybe Vontae might be, but feel free to share your opinions. We'd love to hear them. Next up, we have Lucy and Unhealthy.
She was hilarious.
This one's got to be an A, right?
Yeah. Lucy had a really cool debut in this series. Like, I just like her character a lot. Everything about it was just great, especially for a character that you never expected. So.
And what's like even better about that is the way that it manifested, because technically it showed up on Seal's like fabric. Like that was the manifestation. If you were really paying attention, or you had a manga reader like our boy Sherm walking us through it. So yeah, that's got to be a solid A. Okay, Sean Dots, Unseen.
100.
I'm gonna be honest, both of them were kind of cheeks. I love you, Sean, but your power manifesting is not good.
It was. So are we counting for like the characters like best manifestation, or just their origin, like the first one?
I think the first one, unless the first one was literally like a joke.
Okay. I mean, because then in that case, his is kind of.
It still wasn't great.
Does Deshaun go back at the bottom of the list once again? This feels a little nostalgic.
Oh, I think so.
Sorry,
I think
Sean.
he's got to be a D tier. Sorry, bud.
I'm sorry, Sean. Damn.
I mean, if you look at the law of averages, you got like an A plus. So you're good.
Shit, honestly, he's probably still an S. I mean, because like he was in tiers above
Oh well, that's true.
S.
Tiers
maybe
above
twice.
S. He had his own Sean tier, so I get you. Okay, Fuko Izumo, Unluck. So this is one of the ones where I feel like we have to agree on which one we're talking about.
Yeah. Her and Andy's are kind of weird. Like,
since the first ones we were shown were somewhat underwhelming, and I think by design, because Tozuka still hadn't like developed a pattern yet to where we could then discern which ones we liked more than others. This one's just kind of there. But she has had some great ones. So which one are we thinking?
Let's see. It's kind of tough with the main character because there's a lot of them at that point.
We've also had like 4 title drops. So
yeah. I don't know. I really don't know which one to choose. I'll let you pick this one. I don't know. I don't know which one.
I literally prefaced this whole ranking by like the first, if it's not a joke, but like her power was used in a jokingly manner to start. So like, here comes my luck, and he gets splattened by a train. I mean, I don't know. I don't
technically,
really
for what it is, it does exactly what it needs to do for us being introduced to the series.
True, it didn't move me.
I think it's one of those like, it's kind of like how I don't know, because obviously it's by design of how it was introduced, but I really don't know which one to choose from. I don't.
Do you want to do the one from Loop 101? When she attacks, I think it's Heat. That's when Fang comes down.
Yeah, probably that's the one I was eyeballing in my head.
Okay, so we will go with that one. Sorry, guys, we're a little bit indecisive on this one. I'd say a little bit more than Andy, but yeah. I still think I like Phil's more. Phil's had more emotional impact.
Definitely.
All right. And we're also taking the easy way out by putting them 2 next to each other. But who's going to call us out on it? I'm sure you won't in the chat. That's not a threat, guys. Please don't call me out. All right, next up, Fang Kowloon. Oh my goodness.
You can use literally any of them. It don't matter. They're all pretty much the same.
Do you remember the first time that it was officially revealed?
Yes.
And in like an OBS type of format. This is the worst one. His power was shown in an OBS. Like that was the manifestation, like wording.
Maybe I don't remember it.
Which one were you thinking of? Were you thinking of like a present one?
Like I was thinking any like I was thinking like 1-on-1. Yeah, so like I mean, I was gonna be cheap and just say the one against Salon, but that's more about the appearance. I mean, the appearance.
Yeah,
him just coming in, but
I'll keep it real with Ivante. I think this should be the lowest one.
Really, I'm gonna look. Oh, I'm gonna search
it. Dandadan.
I really don't remember exactly what it. I think I remember us talking about it before, but I don't remember it being that bad. Let me see.
It was you could put them shown on screen. Okay, I'll put them there for now. While he's looking
I believe you. This is. I just got to remind myself.
Okay, so much like Phil, unironically, since he has a pretty close relationship with our next contestant, we have Void Volks, and that is going to be the boxing arena in Loop 101.
Oh, I'm stupid. I know what you mean. I don't know. I was getting okay. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You meant like in an SBS?
In an SBS, yes.
You
What did I
said
say?
OBS.
OBS?
That's why I was so
Oh,
confused.
God.
I was like,
My
wait,
bad, guys.
what are you
I got a
talking
recording
about?
on the brain.
I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, I remember. My bad.
SBS, OBS. What's the difference? Okay, Void Volks, his power manifesting as he is punching Fuko.
His is kind of like how like Fuko's first one is. Like it just makes sense and it does what it needs to do.
Doesn't do a lot, but yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does do what it needs to do. Maybe
Like-
above Andy, like even C tier, I wouldn't be mad at.
Honestly, I think C tier.
Okay.
It was just very average. It was just very,
It was there.
yeah. Oh boy.
Okay. One of my favorites, one of the most memorable, and one of the Negator manifestations that got us to fall in love with this series. If that's not good enough of a preface, we have Akira Kuno Ano Un himself.
Easily S tier, and that's the one that might be the one that I would say that combats against Nico's.
I think it's a little higher.
Nah, I still like
No?
It boxes.
Oh, it's
it really does.
close.
But Nico is just so like just the like everybody can agree. I mean, to both. Really, everybody can agree with both. Like if you were in those situations, but like Nico, it's just his already was like amongst the craziest, and it got even crazier, and he was able to accept it and I don't know, something is just too wild, man. It's too wild, and it's still my favorite fight. Everything about it made me love his character even more. Everything about it was too wild. But
I get you.
But Ano Un, oh man, that's
okay. So
it's kind of like how I feel about
then
Billy.
too.
That was the first icon.
I agree. Okay, so
Well, this
second
easily
place.
number 2.
Okay, perfect. Ooh boy, I feel like this one's got to be pretty high up too. Next up, we have
yeah.
Tella
Finally, Taylor can be a little high now.
in Loop 101 because obviously we had no clue in Loop 100. This is one of the saddest and most tragic power manifestations in the entire series. My God, this broke my heart. It made me feel for this little shy boy so much.
Shy boy.
Shy boy, you got the reference. Watch Dandadan, guys. You'll get the reference too. All right, enough cross promotion. I think he has to be either high A or S tier.
I feel like I would put him low S because he gets a boost because of like us actually seeing the trauma. Unlike all the other ones, we saved everybody pretty much, and they didn't have to go through the trauma. He was like one of the only ones I think in 101 that we seen it for. So,
yep.
Ooh, that's a good one. The next one.
What next one?
Creed.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the next tier list. I was like, what you got? I'm out of ideas. Please help me. All right. Next up, we have Creed Deckard. Undecrease.
This one was great. Like, imagine you being him and being in the military and getting information from the higher ups, and then you shoot it and your ammo doesn't decrease. It's just like that. Everything about that is just wild.
So, I agree with you 100%. I'm just going to ask you, is that the one we're using, or are we using Loop 100?
I rather use this
Okay.
Just because, like, we finally get to learn about him and his. But I understand, like you said, like the first one was like mediocre or a joke. That.
Yep.
But I don't know. I just couldn't help but to talk about that one.
No, I get it. That was a great manifestation. It gave so much characterization to him that I think was like severely lacking up until that point.
I personally would put it in S tier as well, like for that one.
Ooh, okay.
Like Mytella and Billy. Like I think that trio really they got that.
You know what? I like that. I will probably say this did a little bit more for Creed than I think Tella's did for him. I'm gonna put him a little bit above Tella. Do you have a problem with that?
Nope, that's exactly what I think too.
Okay. That S tier is looking great.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Rip Tristan with On Repair.
He's another one.
Adios mio.
And it's like it doesn't even matter which one you choose. Obviously, we're going with the first one, the very first one. Yeah. Even narratively, it just for trauma. Yeah, you. He has like that. It's similar to like Nico of all of his. Like I feel similar ways about both of them in both loops when it comes to manifestations. I put him in S tier too.
I would have him right underneath Billy, because I do think that the first manifestation of Billy's power still remains a little bit more iconic.
Yeah. Rip's just sad.
It is indeed
shit,
tragic.
Sad.
Ooh. That's not fair.
It's unfair, huh? Fair.
Okay, we have Latla Mira with Untruth. Untrust. Damn it, I did it. I waited. I slowed myself down and I still messed up.
In terms of manifestations, not
like it was pretty cool. It reminds me of how I felt about Void. Like, yes, it makes sense. It didn't really do a lot.
I thought the payoff was going to be more huge because we didn't know what the hell her ability was for so long. But
unfortunate would have been great, but yeah.
Because of that, I think it definitely has to go to C because we waited on that for a minute and then we learned it's like, oh, okay.
Slightly underwhelming.
Yeah, love her, but
I don't really think it matters in the C tier because I feel like those two are comparable, but oh, sorry, Ichiko. I say that because she is up next with Unsleep.
I feel the same way about like the Rip situation, the very first one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ichiko.
The more I think about it, I mean, it's not that grand like the other ones.
I feel like this one reminds me of how I felt about Sean. Like, oh, okay, yeah, it's there.
Yeah, like I get the logistics behind it and everything. I can understand it if I was in that
It's more so about like the consequences of what happened after she got the power rather than the power manifesting on the spot.
Yeah.
Like the train scene was cool and all, but like honestly, it's gotta go in this tier. Oh my god.
Chikaro, panels.
Shikeno, Unmove, good lord.
You talk about panel. The first panel I thought about, you know, when the bullets coming at him, he had the cape on, boom, boom. But
Issei Kaiku, no!
The origins.
Oh lord.
Really, he's kind of like how Billy is, how Rip is, how pretty much anybody S tier where it doesn't even matter which one. I think they're all still the same. practically.
Yeah.
It's like the same premise.
I'd have him maybe. Oh, this is tough. I feel similar ways of like just dread and anxiousness about Tella and Creed's power manifesting. There's just like a pit in my stomach each time I think about both of them.
Yeah. It's just Cards got aura though, you know what I'm saying? He got that Billy type aura. Anytime.
I'm gonna put him above Creed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Chikara is such a great character. He's consistently been in S and A tier
Look at that.
throughout the entire every single tier list, just about aside from
He's
like
that
design
guy.
or something.
Oh God. Yeah, this is a thing.
Well,
Backs with
shit, we only got one to go off of,
only got one to go off of.
and that was fire.
Immediately before her oh God, you went there. Immediately before her demise, Unback.
Just the fact, just the lack thereof. I feel like even though that was like, it moved me in a way. I'm like, there's no way Tezuka just did this to this girl. She literally died the worst way out of anybody. Whoa.
He is so damn lucky that he got another loop to redeem himself. We have this ongoing joke with Horikoshi that like we're gonna go to Japan and have a talk with him. If he left that as is or gave her a similar or worse death in Loop 101 after doing that to her in Loop 100,
I think he hates kids.
Tozuka, we gotta talk, man. We gotta call CPS or something.
Yeah, I think
My
he would. I
God.
think he literally would hate kids because there's no way he could just do some shit like that. There's no way. No way. Especially after Chikara be getting fucked up the way he gets fucked up. Sean,
Lord.
even, he was a teenager that got sliced in half. All these kids fail. He can't express himself. Tatiana, like, yeah. I'm like, okay, you hate kids, man.
So in terms of ranking, I'd maybe have her under. What are you thinking? I was thinking under Tatiana.
Nah, I can't because like hers didn't really
Can't put
have
it that
substance to it. It was more about like just like, oh shit, okay, we're finally seeing it. Oh my god, what just happened? Like,
Although
that's the huge part of it, but it didn't really have substance.
Although I will say, I'm pretty sure that they did the manifestation of the power with Sun in an egg. That was pretty cool. That panel was dope.
But there's like no build up, like no like true build up, like how Top or Tatiana or Phil. That's
So
the
you're
only
thinking
thing that
below
was
Phil then, because I feel like it's got to be better than Fuko and Andy.
Yeah, it's still better than Fuko and Andy for sure.
Okay, I will put her underneath Phil.
Just wish she had some kind of build up. Same thing with Engine.
Engines was different. I feel like, and I do mean this as a pun. It was the slow burn for him, to where him losing his power, it was meant to be like a fire going out. It was meant to be like it's gone.
It's one of those that
cook at his ramen shop. Yeah, it does what it needs to do. Doesn't blow you away.
And that's the first one. So like, yeah, that's why I said it's kind of similar to Bats because it's like, you know.
I think. Well, I'll let you say your opinion first, but I have a spot where I put this one.
Engine, I think, because he's not doing the ramen one, we're just doing for 100. I'll probably To be honest, I'll probably put him the lowest B.
Okay, I had him as the highest C, so
Okay.
I do not mind that we put him as the lowest.
I mean, you can put him C.
All right. You talked me into it. All right, finally some redemption for our boy.
Yes.
Our boy, that includes Sherm in this statement because, oh, that poor man. Shen Jiang and his untruth ability.
Finally, he can be a little higher on the list. Shit.
Finally. I feel like this got to be an A tier.
Yeah. Yep.
But do I like Lucy's or do I like this one more? That sadistic smile lives rent-free in my head.
I would say I think Shen over.
Because it was that way too.
Ooh.
Yeah, because then he has the combat right up to follow up. Or to follow up directly thereafter. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, Gina Chamber Unchange. This is like the first like real Negator manifestation in the series.
I think
if we're doing
like,
Loop 100.
Just because of that, she might have to be like grandfathered into A tier.
I think so.
You know, because it's like that was the first, like you said, that was like the first one we got introduced to. It did exactly what it needed to do, and we understood. Oh, this is what the series is going to be about. Oh, okay. And any other time she's done it, it's been fire. So,
yeah, what I loved about her Loop 100 power manifestation is that Tozuka set it up to where her power being shown on screen directly related to her sense of superiority and her actual sense of superiority since she had defeated Andy 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So when she's walking down those air steps, there's just like an aura about the way that she's doing that. And much like the aura that Change was trying to elicit in this particular chapter, I just love that so much.
Yep. Now, if we were to go for one-on-one, that'd be S tier.
Yeah.
Because previous Gina, current Gina, boom, 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 pow. But I think, yeah, A tier. For that first one. We're in A tier. I would. I think I'll still let Shin take number 1 in A tier.
We got to give him something.
Yeah. Plus, there's more substance to it. Obviously, like Gina by design, it did exactly what it needed to do. But Shin is just the whole plot, everything about that.
Okay. You want to talk about iconic panels? Next, we have Juiz and Injustice. Let's go with the Loop 100 one, obviously, to where she takes down an entire alien invasion in the background without even looking. She no-scoped an entire alien armada.
It's like Gina's, but like a tier above. It's like, you know, same kind of feel, but with more power, authority.
If we say that Gina's was like the first, you know, look in at how the power manifesting should be, then this is how it's done to the next tier, like you were saying.
Exactly. That was a statement.
Where in that S tier? It's getting kind of crowded.
Oh, I don't know. Where would that?
It's not the best. It's not the second best.
Somewhere around Billy.
I think because he was using a copied ability of her ability, I think we have to give a little bit more credence to the original.
I mean, do we?
Like her hair going on the wind, like her face being shown.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was
with Injustice.
I'll put her over Billy for that. That was our leader. First time to see her
Below
face.
or
First time.
under Ruin?
Oh, that's a good question. Both of them gives me like similar level of feels on different ends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one. One is like
I'm.
really introduced us to the series, while the other one changed the series.
I feel like this one's a coin flip, honestly.
You know what? I might still give Ruin the slight edge just because of what he even did to Fugo. Like it comes down to
Okay.
that. You know, even though Juiz, that's a whole fucking alien civilization, fucking invasion, but main character MC got it over that over some NPCs. Sorry for that.
That's indeed fair. Okay, next up we have also another reveal, just a full body reveal of Haru Ishin with Unbreakable.
Oh, okay.
Muscle Mommy.
Yep. And just like Shin, she's a little higher than she usually is, which is I like it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking A tier.
I'm thinking so too. Honestly, dang.
I might say above Gina.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, is it above or below Gina? Above, because that was a huge reveal. I remember when
Definitely not over Shin though, unfortunately.
But I'm glad they both got to be up there because usually they're like right by each other down in C or something.
Which it kind of is like a bittersweet feeling because when we first get these Negator reveals, this is supposed to be like the focal point of this character in the series.
Yep.
And then you just expect more out of them moving on from there. Not the case with those two.
The fall from grace.
All right, so fall from graces. Unfortunately, we have Yusai with Undraw.
Very fucking cool. When we first saw that, I was like, oh shit. This old lady? Okay.
She's stopping the pedals?
In fact, she was the first one from in that fight that used their ability, I think.
Are you talking about the spring fight or the Ragnarok fight?
Spring.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was a good statement. I feel like
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking at C tier. It's like might be at the top of C.
You think you like Andy or Fuko's manifestations more?
Yeah.
I think it's close, but
because Andy and Fuko, it's kind of hard for them since they're like the MCs. It's like you kind of because you're introduced to the series through them, so it's like
it's hard to rank them.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like in sports when people from like the past, from years ago, they was like, oh well, should we compare them to players now or for their time? It's like that. Fuko and Andy, just for the time. Back in the 90s,
All right, so Kururu. And let's actually throw a little bit of a twist in this ranking. Let's go with the Loop 101 instead.
Oh, it's funny. She actually would be slightly higher than she usually is. Actually, not slightly. She will be higher than she usually is.
Yes.
Aside from character design, she had to go one from that tier list. But I think I might have her like at least in the middle of B. Maybe higher.
I think where it kind of comes down to, in my opinion, is like there seems to be an even break between how I feel about Phil and how I feel about Bax. Like, I'm more positive on anything above that line, and I'm more negative on anything below that line. So with that being said, I feel more positive about her. I would say above.
Yeah.
I think above Phil just by a slight edge. Would I even go above top? Ugh.
Nah, like
Maybe
Top,
not.
he really had a lot of build up. Like the more I'm really like, I remember it was a lot of build up to that, from his backstory to that, and like, yeah. So I'll put her above Phil. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next up on
Oh.
definition. I included these two because they have their own parts in the story, and they have not been on almost any of our tier list. But goddamn, on definition, Billy coming to save the day for his daughter in this loop after he had lost his family in the last loop. Whoa, peak fiction, baby. Tatiana, expand your area. I love this one, Vontae. I am not gonna lie.
That's good. That's good. I was just like thinking about it again. Yeah, that's good. Is it like A, like A tier? Because it's like it's Billy. It's extension.
I'm gonna be honest. This might even be an S tier for me.
S tier.
That's how much I love this one.
Right, Alves, I agree. Some definitions is a 10 out of 10 moment, but man, ranking it that high is hilarious. No, right? That's why I said A, because it's like it's high, but it's like it's I can't just I'll put it A because it's not the it is the character, but it's
There's been a few times with this series that I have outright screamed. This was one of those moments. So for this power manifesting, highest A.
How about this? Put it in A and then put Billy up one.
Put Billy up one?
Yeah, over Juiz.
Oh, you think so?
Basically, what I'm saying is like the fact that you even have these two. I didn't even think he was gonna put this. It just makes
surprise.
Just like fuck it, put them up one.
Okay. I was doing those moments. So next up we have Unbalance, and this is like what's the Leonardo DiCaprio movie? Oh my god, not Shutter Island, Inception. This reminds me of Inception when this happened. I like this one. It's not a great picture because this is him using Unbalance, but this is him holding out his arm on like the Tokyo needle and bending it.
Mm-hmm. Yo, what's up, Quetzal? It's all good. This is based on how traumatic the awakening was, or the writing of the moment.
Just how much we enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is mostly the origins, unless the character had like a joke or like very mediocre origins to the manifestation. They were choosing like their better ones, but I'd say basically, if you're confused, just look at our S tier.
And think about those power manifestations. Yes.
Yeah, and the bottom. The bottom basically.
Fang, he's an SBS. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, but getting back to this penultimate choice,
I'll let you choose.
Unbalance, I'd say above Fuko. How do you feel about that?
I don't really feel strongly about it, but I don't really have like a real opinion for real.
Okay. Fair enough. No, I'll give back.
Yep, glad to see Chikara and tell him what's up. Yep, for sure.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
All right.
I like
And
this one.
yes, I put this one in there too. So we have Loop 100 during summer. And this is going to be Mui's Untruth.
Oh,
Not going to lie.
honestly,
I think she kind of peaked. She kind of peaked here.
yeah, she did. She literally peaked there.
So got to give her some credit.
Shit, man. Which that it's kind of weird because like her and Shin's, I feel like is basically equal. But given how it transpired, we did not think Shin was going to die, become a Jiangxi, and then her. Like honestly, and I kind of agree with you, Alves. He's saying arguably S for that, and I'm not gonna lie to you, probably because that whole plot line, it from Shin to her, it added a lot for her to the point where I was like, damn, she might end up being one of my favorite characters in the series. When Shin was already one of my favorite characters in the series, so it's like that was a pretty crazy peak. That was probably the first time, and that was the first time we was introduced to that, like where power can be, well, that's like transfers to somebody else
Mm-hmm.
in proximity. There's actually a lot that goes into that one, more than a lot of these on the list. I'm not even gonna lie.
This level of hype that I felt for her power, now becoming her power from Shen, it is on a similar tier as Undefinition. This is one of the moments I was like, oh my god, this is happening.
You know what?
Stay calm.
Oh man. Narratively speaking, it does hold more weight than I'm not gonna lie to you. Me personally, if I were to rank her,
that's debatable.
I'd at least I mean
it's got to be around Undefinition. Behind that high.
Under it, yes.
I was gonna have her just over Shen, but I respect it.
It's just like for Shin to be that good, and for her also to
be that good,
get that bump, like it just made that whole plot line better. And it's, you have the romance going on there. It's just. It was one of my, like, if you talk about like moments in the series, this is one of my first S tier moments in the series, like, truthfully.
Okay. All right, so where in the S tier did you say? Did you say above or below Rip?
I said below Rip.
You still have her above Chikara?
Yep, for the first ones, yep.
Okay. All right, I will leave that one up to you. So as you can see, guys, we mainly love the power manifestations in this series.
Yeah.
There are very few that we do not like, and that is because Tozuka actually did not do them for a couple of those characters. There's a few underwhelming ones, and I'm noticing a trend that 3 of the 4 characters in that C tier, they need more development.
Yep.
And I will let you guys decide which person is not. That's a fun tier list.
Yeah. And then the final tier list ever for Undead Unluck is going to be the tier list of the tier list.
All right, so that is, as Vontae likes to say, the only correct opinion as it relates to this topic. But what other topics do you think we could do, guys? Because I have gone through literally everything I can think of for this series.
I'll have to literally go back and like remember all the ones that we did, because I
mean, I can pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Okay. Actually,
you have like a list of it like written down.
No, I'll just go to our YouTube channel.
Let's see. Obviously, we did designs, characters, 100, 101, abilities that we would want, the traumas.
Okay, so we've done volume cover rankings.
Yeah.
We've done which Negator abilities we'd like to have IRL. We've done all of the arcs. We've done all of the fights. We've done all of the character designs. We've done all of the Uma designs. We've done our favorite characters from Loop 100. We've done... Oh, no tier list that week. We've done fight predictions. So we were 100%. That is the objective opinion because we were 100% correct. Loop 101 favorite characters. We've done a discussion on Ragnarok. We've done a utilization tier list. We have done a death likelihood tier list. And then today doing a Negator ability manifestation tier list. I really cannot think of anything else.
Yeah. I would say like move set, like their abilities, like the abilities of their ability, like their powers, but I feel like I wouldn't remember a lot of them.
Yeah.
The only other thing I can think of, but that's still technically an overlap, I feel like, well, it depends actually. I'll have to think of a character that. So one thing is like maybe character moments, like in terms of like who had the best moments to the worst.
Ooh.
Even though I feel like there might be in a way an overlap when it comes to like characters, but maybe not much. I'm trying like think of a character that technically speaking you don't have like in your top characters in the series, but you think had some really
Top
good
moment.
moments. Yeah.
Ichiko. I feel like that's a good answer to that question.
Yep, that's a great
when
one.
she confessed her love to Nico during the lawn fight, oh my god, that was peak.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, if you want, we could do character moments next week. That's going to be hard for some of our S tier characters though, because they have so many.
I feel like somebody is squeezing in there too.
Or do you want to do like maybe feats? Like character
that is
feats?
a bit easier for sure because you could really single it down to like one moment where, like, okay, yeah, that one right there, yep.
I'm thinking of like 3 or 4 off the top of my head. I'm just like, oh my god, they really did that.
Yeah, Andy's just number one. Yeah.
Well, hold on now. Let's give you guys a quick preview. Engine turned off the sun.
Yeah, but Andy, he sat on the sun and he stopped all of the matches.
Okay, well, like this, it's supposed to be a preview.
I know.
Monte, not just like shut the door.
I get your point. You're saying like Engine, someone who typically wouldn't be as high would literally be like S tier for that.
Or if you even want to throw some jokes around, like Sean going from the literal bottom of the bottom to our top 5 or 6 characters in this series.
That's a feat in itself.
That's the best feat.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that's actually a really good one to do because I'm even thinking like Lucy, for example, she will probably be like S tier too. She would have to.
Teaching soul powers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think that's a good one.
That's next week, guys. We will do best character feats.
That would really shake up the list. Like, damn.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Oh my god, I'm thinking about what Nico did in the lawn fight. Bruh.
Yep.
Bruh. Fuko essentially getting farther than Juiz ever did without Injustice. Bruh.
That's a feat. Yep. That's a good one.
All right, that will be yes. That will be the end of that. That will be saved for next week's tier list. Great chapter, obviously. Gina is one of our favorites. She popped off. Her arm got popped off. Goodbye, Lauren. Hope you have a great evening.
Peace.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Fun stream, fun chapter. I can't wait to watch your reaction to this later, but yeah, excellent all around.
Yes, sir. Since like we're just getting into the holiday season and all that, we have a lot of content in the backlog and new content that we're going to get into, but in our Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. So we might ask you guys there, like, if there's like another series maybe that we've done on the channel that you would probably want to see a tier list of, randomly for like a random stream or something like that within this next months. That would be fun too. So you guys can kind of get learn more about us when it comes to some of our favorite characters and stuff from other series and all that kind of stuff. Because I know most people who are in the Discord are for Undead Unluck, but we're trying to get out to more people. So yeah,
it could either be from series that we haven't had on the channel. So like Vontae and I, we both cover One Piece. Like we could have One Piece tier list all day long.
One Piece character tier list. Let's go.
God, no. No. That'd be the greatest feat on the channel. I don't care how many
15 hours straight.
Oh Lord, stop. Well, you forgot background character number 634 and 5/4.
Panaman on tier list, his own tier.
He's got his own tier.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got though.
All right, perfect. Well, we do. No, we do not. Well, Vontae has read some of Gachiakuta, Quetzal. We will be covering the anime when it comes out in January from Studio Bones. Then likely, if we're not too, burdened with time constraints, we might pick up the manga similar to how we did for Undead. I know that we're definitely going to do that for Dandadan. We are definitely going to do that for Sakamoto Days because we hear the choreography is flames. We might pick it up for Gachiakuta because I have seen the art style for it. It's grungy, it's different, it's unique. So I love reading manga that's unique.
Yep. And maybe Chainsaw Man. We'll see. That's been the one that's...
Maybe.
It's in the air. It's there.
We got to find out what's going on with that movie first, though.
Yep. Yeah, man. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday, or if it's not Sunday, I hope you're enjoying your day in general. And we'll be back next week for chapter 228 of Undead Unluck, and obviously Dandadan, Bleach. You'll be seeing that as well.
All right, perfect. So that's all that I have on my end as well. So if you want to end us up.
Right, you guys know the drill. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. See you guys all in the next stream or video. And peace.
Peace.